What's going on?
Yes, cuz.
Welcome to the Triggered Thoughts podcast. And I go by your host name, Verbz.
Myself, the official Geniusman.
Genius.
Yes,
how you been, man? You right?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm good, man. Quite a deep week, man. A lot going on.
Heavy week, man. Heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, to say the least, man. You get me? But, yeah, I guess we gotta crack on. You get me? So listen, people, man. We're just gonna be touching base on an event that happened this week. Following a serious event that happened 2 years ago. And we're going to be talking about the murder of Chris Cabba. And we're just going to be discussing everything around it. We're going to be asking each other a series of questions, but we're just going to be open and honest and just try and cover what we can and, bring our opinions, to the people. We hope that when we bring our opinions to the people, we're not offending anybody, but obviously you can see with a topic like this, it's quite a bit of a difficult task, to, avoid offending some people, but just understand that it's not intentional. It's just an opinion, and we're looking at this from a human perspective and a non-biased perspective, but also the fact that we are black men, and Chris Cabba was a black man as well. We have to look into this thing carefully because, without going into it a bit too deep right now, we're going to save that for the content during this episode, innit? Yeah. But, we familiarize with what's going on. And, I just think media-wise, they're not going to put things in our favor. And I think that's definitely happened to Chris regardless. But we're going to get into it. You know what I mean? Very touchy subject, man. And I just want to start off by saying, although, Chris was, 2 years ago, I just want to start off by saying, condolences to the Cabba family. They probably won't be, watching this, but if they happen to be, or they happen to come across it, we're just going to show maximum respect. Send our condolences and, apologize, for the hard time they've had this week because, as we all know, watching the news, social media and all these coverages of, what's happened this week is that, the police officer by the name of Martin Blake has been acquitted for, the murder of Chris Cabba. Cuz, let me just ask you a brief opinion on what you think of what's gone on so far.
Well, the media, as you know, the media is never in the favor of our people. That's a non-fact. This, I mean, and to be quite honest with you, I was very surprised actually that they even posted up, quite a positive picture of Chris, because you know how the media, anytime they post up people, is always either they're throwing up gang signs or they've got a screw face or they just fit that stereotype. That's what I mean? For people to then, make it more believable. So the simple fact that they posted out that picture made me realize that maybe they couldn't really get any pictures of him. Just what I mean? That was the only one that they happened to come across because...
But their smear campaign, isn't it? Like with Mark Duggan, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Let me just give a little clarity in case people didn't know, just quickly before you carry on, cause sorry to cut you.
No, sorry, go on.
The example that I just gave of Mark Duggan, obviously everybody's seen the picture of Mark Duggan when he was murdered and the police put the picture out. It was a picture of him, standing outside, really with a real aggressive expression on his face, a serious frown. They only cut off half that picture, so it was up to I believe his shoulders. Yeah. So they call that a breast image, innit? When it's from your head to your shoulders. Yeah. Not below the shoulders, but, I'm not sure if everybody knows. I know some people out there would know, but when you see the full picture, it was basically one of his, babies that had passed away, and he was at the graveside of the baby holding like a little memorial, sort of item for the baby, and obviously feeling frustrated. That's why his face looked that way. But the police chose to use that image to send out a negative perception of Mark Duggan. Do you know what I mean? And this is what Genius is referring to, the police tactical smear campaigns that they usually tend to do to us.
To be quite honest with you, you know, I know of people personally that have, you know, they've gone up against the Met, and it never ends well. So to be quite honest, I can't say I'm surprised that for there to be justice. Yeah, I mean, there's never justice when it comes to our people, and that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from there was one instance with remember the bank manager, the black man that was racially profiled.
Yeah. He
ended up getting a payout from the Met over £1 million.
Actually, there was a woman that I know as well, you know, she was imagine this as well, by coincidence. She was an armed response officer, black woman. And I can't remember how long ago it was, but let's just say about 10 years ago. And she won a massive case against them as well, where it took years, where they were basically sexually and racially assaulting her. And she won a massive payout. Massive, you know what I mean?
How did she manage to prove that?
I don't know, you know, but it took her a while still. They tried to hide it and all sorts, but it took her a while, and she walked in court like feeling great, like she's managed to get there. Do you know what I'm saying? They were pissed off, man. Do you know what I mean? They were pissed off. So yeah, but you know what? To date, any black person that's been murdered, or shall we say, whatever your word of preference, by the police armed response, there's never been any officer that's been found guilty and in prison. To this day, they've all been cleared, all kept their jobs, and that's saying something within itself. Do you know what I mean? I know, cause just for the record, you know, I know in the beginning when this acquittal first came out, and I know I spoke to you, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, like you had one view of the situation, and then afterwards your view seemed to have changed a little bit. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah.
Can you explain to the people what that was, or how you felt in the beginning and how you feel now, and what changed that for you?
I think what it
without
is,
going into too much detail, because we're going to cover,
you know, I definitely believe, you know, the actions were excessive. And, you know, he should have stopped, to be honest with you. No one deserves to be executed like that, you know. But, you know, initially, I just thought like, wow, you know, they used a lot of videos after the police officer was acquitted. They used a lot of videos showing that this young man was a gangster. And by posting up those, you know, showing the videos to the public, it was enough to now, if there was people that were in favor of supporting Chris Kaba, that the videos that surfaced, that they're allowed to, you know, go out mainstream to media, kind of painted a picture that, you know what, yeah, we acted in the right way, yeah, because this, I mean, he was a gangster, so therefore it was a justification for them to say, you know, we used this force because this guy was out here, you know, shooting people. And prior to what happened to him, I think the night before, they're saying that the vehicle was used in a shootout or something like that. This, what I mean?
A drive-by shooting.
Yeah. And to be quite honest, as I said before, this thing with, you know, this stop and, how can I put it? This situation that happened to him, this, what I mean? Like, it could have been avoided. And, you know, I think it's a message out there to the youth, this, what I mean? That you have to be very careful, man. You know, in terms of...
Let's not go that deep yet.
Yeah. God, yeah.
Let's not go that deep
yet.
But yeah. No, you're... I do hear where you're coming from. And you know what? To be fair, that footage that they put out, I've never seen anything like it before, man. When I mean I've never seen anything like it before, I'm not talking about the the crimes, what he's doing in it. I'm just saying I've never known police to release full footage like that after they've done something to somebody. Do you know what I mean?
It's madness. Yeah.
And it indicates something to me. It's almost like they broke their own rules when they did that. Do you know what I mean? You know, but we're going to touch on that, get into, through the episode. So I just want to ask a series of questions. I know you got questions as well still. Do you know what I mean? But, I just want to ask you, do you think that the of, Chris Cabba was lawful?
No, it wasn't lawful. No way was that lawful, because there could have been so many other ways to de-escalate that. You see what I mean? At the same time, it's hard, man. It's a tough one, because the thing is, you know, they showed the video footage of him driving through the police, or, you know, like trying to, you know, get away. And obviously that...
Did they?
Well, that's the video that they put up anyway, because I see a series of videos.
So what did you see in the video that said that it showed him trying to drive through the police?
Well, it looks like there was a part where he reversed and then he was trying to drive through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, they could have shot at the tires. They could have shot him elsewhere. But, you know, when you aim for the head, there's no way anyone's going to survive a headshot. Well, you do have one or two miraculous situations, but
no, not with them caliber weapons.
Yeah.
That has to be a small gun, like a 2 or something like that. Like, you're not with that caliber of weapon, you're not surviving.
So that was definitely assassination. Is what I mean? 100%. Is what I mean? 100%.
I don't think it was lawful at all. I don't think it was lawful at all. Like you said, there was other options they could have taken to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the reason why I don't think it was lawful is, there's going to be people out here, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, from what I've seen on social media comments, I'm not afraid to bring them up. There's people, some people are black, not going to lie, but there's a lot of people that ain't black that are celebrating the fact that this police officer has got rid of Chris Cabba.
Yeah, I see some stuff, man, still.
Some serious comments talking about the officer needs a pay rise and all these kind of things like that.
It's a bit messed up, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people need to learn to be a bit more sensitive, regardless of what you see in the news. Half of you wouldn't be saying the same shit if it was your own family member. That's number one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be, if it was your own family member, you would not be saying that. Number two, most of you lot, probably all of us, have got somebody that operates wrong, made bad decisions in our family.
Yeah.
That are part of the criminal underworld in our family. Whether it's selling cannabis, whether it's selling something a little bit more deeper than that, Class A.
Yeah.
Whether it's drug distribution, whether it's trafficking, whether it's whatever, whatever. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Most of us have got people in our families that do that. I don't care whether you're rich or poor. There's always someone that breaks the mold. Do you get me? So I think people need to be very careful about how they're pointing fingers at a particular crime or a particular demographic that's involved in a certain crime according to the media. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have family members or people around you that's involved in crime and you're sitting with them like it's okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
Don't throw stones if you live in glass houses. That's how I see
100%,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can pretend that you haven't got a family member in your family like that. But the reality is you do. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, because there's many crimes. Somebody's doing something. So let's just be real. We should be a bit more sensitive. That's all I'm trying to say. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. And I just think, regardless of what you've done, I'm not taking it away, that he is involved in gang, because as you know, Genius, you know, well, as people know that are listening to this, we don't tolerate, gang affiliation. We've spoken out against it loads of times. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, people make mistakes. Yes, people live in environments where they're groomed into it, because a lot of people that are involved in gangs are actually groomed. Who's to say Chris Cabba wasn't groomed into a gang and it's become him? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if we're looking at 2024, with all these young kids that are going missing, and you see them in the paper, those are innocent young children that are going missing.
100%.
Yeah, and they've gone missing, and their parents are at home crying, thinking that they're actually dead. Yeah, but guess what? Many of them come back 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There was one mum that I spoke to or a message on TikTok. Her son went missing and was gone for 3 weeks. A mixed race boy, 6 foot boy, 15 years old. And she was concerned. And I gave her some tips on how to follow it up. And she was grateful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he turned up again 3 weeks later.
Wow.
County lines. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's been groomed against his will. None of us know if Chris Cabba was groomed against his will. But if you don't know nothing about gangs, let me tell you. Yeah. Most people involved in gangs have been groomed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And grooming comes in many different forms. So we need to be a bit more mindful about how people have got involved in certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether you understand it or not, just be careful how you're cracking the whip at people, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the point that I'm trying to get to is there could be somebody that's committed mass murder. They've gone out on a spree and they've wiped out like 10 people, let's just say in the space of 2 hours. If the police in the UK decide to send for armed response, which they will do in a situation like that, to come for them, if that person is walking away from the police, or whatever, I don't think, even though you've killed, and it shouldn't be, because this country is supposed to be a little bit more careful than that. We're not people that just, we're not from certain, this isn't a country where certain police officers in other countries would shoot you in your back when you're walking away and throw you in a bush and not do the paperwork. You get me?
Yeah.
This country is different. Yeah. So if somebody was walking away that had just wiped out 10 people in 2 hours, they'll probably get a shot in the foot or a shot in the arm or a shot in the leg. And that would make that person more than likely crouch down on the floor, hold their leg, and now you've controlled the situation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With what Cabba done, a lot of people are saying, but he used his vehicle to ram through the police cars and so on and so forth. In the video, from what I saw, there was at least 4 officers on either side of his vehicle when he was driving backward and forward. They were shouting in the window. Yeah, I've done a video about this on my Instagram. Yeah?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Why didn't they shoot through the window and shoot him in his lap? Why didn't they shoot one of his hands that was on the steering wheel? Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And disable him. He may have lost a hand, or he may have had to have surgery on his hand, but he would have been alive, and you bring him to justice, even if you throw him in for a very long time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Regardless of Chris doing that, if that was any one of our family members, none of us would be sitting here singing that it was okay for the first course of action or the first weapon that was discharged to be aimed at his head.
Yeah, that's merciless, man.
None of us would be celebrating that if it was our family member.
Yeah, it's true.
So we need to be very careful. Again, when it's somebody else's family member, because this ain't entertainment, this ain't comedy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's someone's life. Better Chris was brought to justice and served a long time.
Yeah.
Then there'd be no arguments. You understand what I'm saying, Genius?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know? Yeah. They could have taken other options. They could have blown out a tire.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
There was many things they could have done.
They could have used the Stingray? You know, the Stingray? The thing that they slide across the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Burst these tires, he's not going to be going far then, is he? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's many options. And yeah, I just feel like there's loads of other options that could have been taken other than that.
It's almost like it was kind of planned in advance, but I'll be honest with you, I feel that what happened to him was done intentional for them to relay a message to the people. It's another way of fair, promoting fair,
100%.
Because the simple fact that the media, anytime you see the media allow something to go viral, they know it's going to rile up the people. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, people maybe protest. It could potentially lead to riots. There's going to be a lot of very upset people. And the thing is, when these things, prime example now, did you not hear what they said in the House of Parliament, where they're now going to bring in a law where the police officers are going to be more safer, and they're going to, and I was like, wow.
No, I saw an article today that was saying that the police officers now are scared to discharge their weapon and they might all stand down. So if they do that now, they're going to have to bring in the army to deal with situations like this in the future.
What the police saying they're going to stand down?
That's what I saw in an article today.
Yeah, well, in the House of Parliament, see if I can find a video. I'm going to upload it. They turn around and saying that, yeah, we need to protect the police officers. What about protecting the bloody public?
Well, this is it. We're heading down a place now where they're doing certain things now where it's going to be, more than likely officers carrying guns. But that's just going to make more of a problem. Either that, or the only other thing that I can think of is some kind of martial law or something. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can think of, but I don't know, cuz. Do you think the release of the video of him, shooting people in the club, do you think that was necessary?
No, it wasn't, but remember, they've messed up. That's what I mean? And, you now have to paint this guy to be a bad guy. And to now, because now you're looking very unpopular and it's gone viral and people, people are saying, they've, how can they execute this black guy? So now you realize yourself, hold on, we've got to now find out some factual information on this guy, and we've got to paint him in a very bad light. So then now the people that were in favor of, Carver and the Carver family now turn on them and see, actually, this guy was a criminal. He was a gangster. He killed people. He shot people. He stabbed people. He's notorious. You go as far as naming the gang that he was involved in. And, and not only that, you provide footage now to show, yep, look, here he is in one club. Look at the people that are chasing out now. So we acted in the best way in the interest of the public, because he was out there, he was a threat to the general public. So now for me, it's a very, I'll call it a very,
he wasn't a threat I wouldn't say it was a threat to the general public, but I do hear where you're coming from, though. That's the message they're putting out. No, yeah, I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I feel that it was also, another psychological operation, because anytime that they allow something like this to happen, just know that there is something that they're working towards behind the scenes. And as I said before, I'm going to find the footage. I'm going to give it to you, because maybe you can upload it with one of the snippets where in the House of, Parliament, the people were clapping, said, yeah, we're going to bring in a law where the police officers are protected. So meaning, and listen to this carefully, people. If you've got children out there and they're active, or they're on the roads and they're doing certain things, you need to warn them, because from what I can understand, where they're saying that, they want to bring in a law where police officers are protected, meaning that they can shoot people and there's going to be no repercussions. There's not going to be anything where like that's happened to Martin Blake, where he's put into question. How is this allowed?
Yeah. So they get away with it anyway, but they'll just take away that whole, tribunal or trial type thing. They'll take that away.
Yeah.
So they'll be cleared immediately, because they'll be believed.
Yeah.
And people, let me tell you something, just additionally, throughout history, there's been many, examples of what the media and police all across the globe, especially in the West, America and the US, do to people that when they're ready to take them out, paint them as the bad guy, smear campaigns, yeah? Malcolm X said in one of his speeches, that if you're not careful, the Western media will have you, celebrating the oppressors and condemning the oppressed. That's a very big statement. So in other words, the person that is causing the harm, a picture will be painted via the Western media to make you believe that they're the victims. The person that is the victim, a picture will be painted to make you believe that they're the perpetrator.
Yep.
This has been a cunning tactic in the West for many years. And we can go through all names of people that have been assassinated from huge global figures all the way down. Yeah. If you don't believe me, I'll give you one documentary to watch. There's a documentary, I think it's on YouTube, the full version. That's the last time I saw it. And it's about the Black Panther Party in America. I think it's called the Vanguard. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll add the clip here so you can see it.
Yeah, do that, yeah.
I'll give you a quick story. Very quick. I'm not going to mention no names because I don't want to draw out this person that I know. But a friend of mine worked for the police in the UK. Yeah, the transport police in the UK. When my friend first started with the transport police, yeah, what's his name was in Stockwell. Was it John Charles Gemendez? You know that geezer? Is it John Charles Gemendez? The Brazilian guy in Stockwell
Station. Yeah, I remember that years ago.
Yeah, you remember that, yeah?
Was he, they're trying to say it was a terrorist?
Terrorist, right.
Yeah, okay. Bloody hell, I remember that, yeah.
My friend started working with the British Transport Police them times there, yeah? First job. You know what her first shift was, cuz after they killed my man in the tube station.
Go on, tell me.
Because I remember seeing that story and I was like, how the hell can this man get followed on a bus and then followed into a tube station, get shot on the tube, in the tube station, and there's no camera footage? What the hell's going on? That's ridiculous. Anyway, this friend of mine told me exclusively that on her first shift, the police told her to come on a shift with them. You know what they done, bruv? They were going all around Stockwell and Brixton in between where the man got on the bus to where the man got to the tube station, and inside the tube station, all the shops and all that all around there where they believed that there was any way to call it, and went in there and took every form of CCTV. From every shop, from the tube station, from every shop, from the tube station, from everything.
Is that a fact?
100% facts. This person that told me this told me that they didn't even want to be a police officer no more after that, bruv. You understand?
I remember, I'm just looking at the thing here, was an innocent man.
All right.
Yeah, man killed it. And they said he was a worker, he was an honest man.
They let him get on the bus. Packed bus with people to get to the tube station.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, they remove footage when it goes against them.
Bloody hell, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Bloody hell.
And nothing is in question when they get rid of the footage, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is solidified facts that I'm telling you. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't trust them at all. Do you know what I'm saying? And when I saw that video, yeah, it made me just think, you know what? You know, the next thing I want to raise as well, because it's going to wipe out one of my questions, but I think it's just the right time to bring it up, because isn't it, would you agree that it's the police's duty to support families after there's been a murder victim in the family?
But that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, I know the situation, that, you know, when I think even, few people that I know, you know, that have had incidents, yeah, they're supposed to go and comfort the family, or even send someone that's, that specializes in that to offer support and counseling, yeah. So,
how is releasing that video footage after the acquittal supporting the family in any way, shape or form?
Oh, yeah, it just rubs it, and it just adds insult to injury, really, isn't it?
And again, you're not going to think I'm lying, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, it reminds me of when Duggan got killed. I worked with one of his family members.
Wow.
You get me?
Yeah.
And you know what they told me?
Go.
Because remember when he got killed by the police, the police didn't even tell him, they found out on TV. Do you get what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, they didn't tell the family, they found out on TV. That's why the riot started, because the family went to the police station for answers. You know what I'm saying? But his family member told me when they were supposed to be supporting the family, they weren't. So when they had a 9-night for Duggan, or a gathering for Duggan, to obviously gather and, like celebrate his life and stuff, you know what the police was doing, bruv?
Go on.
Driving past the house every few minutes in their police van with several of them in there, driving past the house. And when they're outside gathering and having their little drink, the family members and that, mourning, grieving, the police are driving past, pointing and laughing.
No way.
I'm telling you, bruv.
Laughing and pointing?
Yeah, 100%. I heard that certain mans from Tottenham ends, well-known mans, was gonna respond and go and deal with the police. They were that angry after losing their friend. But it was Duggan's mum that encouraged them not to, because it's just going to smear his name. So let's not play that game. Leave them and just let them be idiots.
It's like they've not learned anything from the Broadwater Farm situation.
Well, this is it.
And the situation that happened in the Brixton riots.
This is it. You know what I mean?
Because blood.
It's mad, isn't it?
Because they were supposed to learn from that, and when they supposed to have also brought in, because I remember I watched the documentary, when they were supposed to have brought in something where something like this can't really happen, they brought in stuff because obviously they lost some police officers. And the thing is, because I think that the time that we live now is worse than what happened back then. Now they're killing more black people, and if anything, you can imagine now if the generation back then were like how it is now, I feel it'll be a bloodbath, cause I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Because you know what's gonna start happening, and it's gonna be. I just think it's inevitable. I think the police, people are gonna start. This, I mean, what's happening? You might hear police going down, and people start retaliating, because there's only so much that you can keep doing this stuff, and then people start to take justice.
Well, that's the next question I want to ask you then still, as you say that. Like, what do you think about this whole thing that the press is saying about this bounty on his head? The officer that got acquitted.
I wouldn't be surprised. You see, the thing is, what the press and police need to understand, we're in a time now where this generation, they don't feel no way to take a life. Mm-hmm. Now, if all these people now that are out here that, ops in this and, ops, this one against that one, if all these people now decide to unite and say, you know what, let's end this now and let's now target ourselves and focus to it's gonna be a problem. Mm. Because I don't think anyone's really looking at it. These people out here, they feel no way. And even some of the brutal killings, man, where, I'm hearing blade is snapping off because of the force that they're thrusting and juking at people. And this is what I mean. Like, these are some brutal killings. And if people now start to change or, focus their energy now towards, all these atrocities that's happening, and I'm no way inciting anything or in kind, because I don't condone violence, but when you have one police brutality after another and people dying in custody, people being, set up where, drugs, people that don't sell drugs are planted on there. Because remember, all it takes is for someone to handcuff you and arrest you. No one's watching, and say, get one of the other police officers to, plant something inside your pocket, plant something inside your bag. You are completely defenseless. Once your arms are tied, what is there for someone to, while they're doing what they're doing? So this is one of the reasons why. And I'm going to, likewise, as my children get older, I'm going to educate them on certain things. Why I avoid the police, and make sure that, my life that I live, I don't have no police involvement.
You could be on, like I said, you could do all of that, and that's good. It's good that, because educating kids is always key, innit? But I'm just saying, like, you could just have a kid that just grows up and just looks away that the police just target them all the time.
And if it's a thing like that, then I'll tell them, obviously how to respond. without attitude, very politely, and just say to them, make sure you take down their badge number. Just what I mean, you know, to get as much information as possible. If there's anyone that's there as well, that's observing or filming, that's what I mean, make sure you reach out, get a number. That's what I mean, because we're in a time now where people film, there's video surveillance, people film everything, there's CCTVs, unless they tamper with it, but everybody's recording nowadays. So just what I mean.
You know the only way that's going to work, cuz, like for me, if police was trying to stop me, you know, if they were trying to pull me over, they were trying to stop me, even if I was walking or whatever, I wouldn't stop anywhere where it's quiet. I'm just being honest with you. I've done it already with them loads of times. I would make sure I'm going to a congested area, whether it's standing outside of a shop, a bus stop, whatever, and there's eyes that are watching me, and now I know the police are limited as to what they can do. And I've done it before where I've actually asked, you know, that bus stop in Brixton, right outside of Nando's. Right there, one time me and my friend got stopped in the car. Yeah. And when they stopped us and told us to come out, they were following us for time. They told us to come out. Basically, I think they tried to stop us from like the back roads and stuff like that, but we carried on driving. I told my friend, don't stop, carry on driving. And we stopped outside there. When we got out, there was like 7 people at the bus stop. And I just spoke to them. I was like, excuse me, I know you're probably in a rush or whatever. It was in the evening, like about 9, 10 o'clock at night. But I just asked them if you would kindly just stand here and observe these officers the way they're dealing with us.
Yeah.
I'd be most grateful. Do you know what I'm saying? And like a couple of them got on the bus and like 3 of them stayed. Like, no problem. And they stayed. And the police wanted to rough us up, but they couldn't because there was eyes. If you stop on a back street and draw out your phone and try to record them, you just grab that out of your hand. Let's get back on point. So right, let's go into detail then of what this means for future black men and young black male youths. I mean, you have covered it earlier still to some extent. But, and I agree with what you said in terms of you saying that, you know, we need to be very careful now. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's probably a bigger picture here, and this is done for a reason. But the message that I think this is sending out as well is that we're disposable as people, bruv.
100%.
We're not valued. We're disposable as people. The police are supposed to be public servants, but you got to remember they take instructions from the hierarchies, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When those them MPs, member of parliament, sit down in parliament and make certain rules and laws or whatever not, the police have to operate by it. Just like when they said that we can't protest no more.
Yeah, there's another way of taking away people's rights, isn't it?
Yeah, and now when they're ready, they'll let you protest, but when they're ready to lock it off, they'll lock it off.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? And when they lock it off, they can lock it off with violence and arrests. And it's because of the laws, they can do that.
That is mad. That is mad.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
that is mad.
I'm just saying, these people, they say that they're public servants, but they work for the MPs and other hierarchies that we don't see.
Yeah.
You get me? We can agree on that, yeah? Now, these officers taking out Kaba, for me, regardless of what he's done, I still don't believe that it constitutes him getting a shot in his head as the first response. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Disagree with that completely. Do you know what I mean? Not when I've seen man in America. I know this is England, but they operate similar, even though Americans have guns. Not when I've seen the white guy in America go in and bare people black people in a church.
Yeah.
And when the police came for him, they walked him out.
And offered him burger. I think they even got Burger King as well. Yeah, I heard.
And they were smiling with him when they walked out as well. That is just an insult, bruv. Do you get me? You know what I'm saying? So, like, even though these people are instructed to, like, I'm just saying, taking him out like that makes me realize we're very disposable. And it also makes me realize, you know what, it's even worse if you're a person that is affiliated with a gang, a black man that's affiliated with a gang. Yeah? You've participated in criminal violence, whether it's shooting, stabbing people, and let's be real, amongst the youth, there's a lot of them out there that's doing it. Not saying all, because I know there's good black kids out there that ain't doing none of that. But there's a demographic in certain areas that are doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? We have to be real. Yeah? And you're in problems now. There's a target on your head. Do you get what I'm saying? This to me is showing that these lot have had enough of man them on the road that are black. They took him out. Like, for me, that style of taking him out is like, this fucking rare. Take that, innit? I'll show you. You know what I'm saying? Think you're bad, I'll show you. They're operating like they're the ops, bruv. They're the real gang out here.
It reminds me of Cadet song. Have you seen that song called Gang?
Nah.
You need to see it, man. Bloody hell. You know, the next thing is, well, I feel that any sort of re-bridging or, you know, trying to create a good relationship between the community and the police.
That ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's done. It was done before. It's done before, now it's finished.
These sort of things will just bring more bitter waters. You know what I mean? It will just continue to create more and more hatred towards the police because, prime example, look what happened the other day where they were speeding and they killed a pregnant woman.
And there's going to be people out there, cuz, that are going to say, oh, you know what? That was an accident. Things like that can happen. Bro, you're trained to a different level to drive like that, bruv. You're trained to be aware of when you're coming across junctions, slow down. You hear me? Or, you know, there's a couple rows of cars or whatever. A child could be walking between it. Slow down. You're trained, bruv. What happened? You was speeding unnecessarily. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Even the ambulance. When you see an ambulance driving and sirens on, I've been a few ambulances have gone past me in the last 2 weeks and it's pissed me off because you know when you're at the lights and you're waiting and it goes a main junction and it goes green. Next thing you know, you hear the siren and the ambulance is creeping past. And then by the time it's gone past now and I want to go, the lights have gone red again. It's pissed me off. You know what I mean? That's happened to me several times in the last couple of weeks. It's pissed me off. But I'm saying when you see them go to the main junction and everyone stops for them, they creep. Because they don't know who's going to fly out of the junction and not see them. It's an act of cautiousness, bruv. How the police officers managed to do that to the point where they split the car in two is beyond me, bruv.
What that happened in Eltham?
Yeah. The car rolled over about 3 times, you know?
Yeah.
That's how hard they hit the car.
That's mad.
You get what I'm saying?
That's mad, yeah. You know, also, cause I feel, that I know a lot of people saying there needs to be more training, but I feel that, you know,
they're trained enough, man.
Do you know what I feel?
Nothing to do with it, bro. People are chatting shit.
I feel that they definitely need to prioritize the escalation.
Because they know how to do that. They know how to do that.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just whether you know what it is, cuz it's just I'm not gonna try and overtalk your thing. If they have a negative stereotype of you, the individual officer is not going to have that much patience when it comes to de-escalating. Yeah. But they know what they're doing. I've been stopped by a feds, cuz. Regular. I've been, like, they've pulled me on the road on foot, in car, whatever. I'm saying. Some of them, very few of them know how to talk to me with manners and respect. And even if I was getting a bit agitated or my friend was getting agitated, they know how to reassure that person and make sure the situation remains calm. But I can see and spiritually smell the difference between the feds that don't care, bruv. This isn't about training. So when these people, I'm not having to go at you, but I see people dropping these things in the comments and that. It's because you've had the privilege of not being stopped by feds at all. Or you've had the privilege of not being negatively stereotyped by them if you have been stopped. So they've been pleasant to you. Us black men and black boys, don't care whether you say we're coming with a victim thing. It's not. It's just facts. We know different. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, but the racial bias definitely needs to stop, man. That's what I mean. And I'm fed up of seeing comments on the race card again. You see, one thing with me, I don't like to draw the race card, but you see, when something is blatantly is what it is what it is.
I feel sorry for the Kaba family. Honest to God, I really feel sorry for them, man. Because you know what? People were saying things like, his mum knew that he was doing this and rare, and that still don't constitute her son getting killed.
Yeah.
Even if she did know. Like, people are assuming that because she knew, she was complicit. How do you know that she knew and she wasn't spending how many years of her life trying to convince him to come out of it?
Yeah.
But she just unconditionally loves her son, so she's going to have him around anyway.
100%. It's true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We have to be careful, man, but people have to come with this tarnished brush and paint people a certain way. People are grieving, bruv. Grief ain't easy. When a family's grieving, they don't need this shit on top of it.
No. Facts.
Pay some respect, man, or show some respect. If you can't show no respect, just shut your mouth, blood. You get me?
Like,
simple and plain, you know? But you, like we said, like we're saying, watch your back, man, because it's about to get sticky out here. Like I said, you're operating a certain way, you're dressed a certain way, you got a certain attitude, and these police fly down on you, it could get peak. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It could get peak, so I'd just be very careful. If you're in a gang, it's time you step out of it, mate. That's how I see it, bro, because everybody's disposable here, but you're even more disposable than the average Joe.
Facts. No, true words there, cuz.
Yeah, mate. So, cuz, you got anything else you want to add?
You just said what I was going to say, basically. Yeah, young guys, yeah, it's if you haven't started on the road of change, now's the time. It's not a joke anymore, man. They're bringing in new laws that will favor the police and give them more powers and give them more immunity and give them more justification to use brutal force in forms of execution, and it will not be challenged. So when you decide to continue down a path and you want to even think about trying to escape from police, just know that could be the termination of your life.
100%. Although this is far-fetched, just a last question, because I already said that I don't believe that the feds will ever be able to build a relationship with the black community, especially. What do you think the police need to do if they was willing to rebuild the relationship with the black community?
Powerful question. I love that question. They will need to start going into schools, colleges. They need to now even maybe start to try to get to understand and learn the culture, get to understand, show genuine interest and, to show that they're really remorseful, try their best to even just maybe start basing themselves, around certain, in the education system and allow people just to, to get people to get to understand them more, and try and work in the community, show genuine interest, try and partake in certain activities. I mean, make a step, do something out of the norm, do something out of the norm. Also to show that they're being genuine as well. Stop all this atrocity. Stop this bias, stop or this racist behavior. It's not good. When we see that there's, that people are being dealt with properly, you're not roughing people up when you're handcuffing them. This stop and search is not just mainly black people, it's everyone. And then if you do have to do what you're doing, you talk to people properly. You deal with them properly. If someone says that the handcuffs are tight, you loosen it. You explain to people, why are you stopping them? But, do your job properly. You're employed you're supposed to be there for the public and to protect and serve. But you're doing the complete opposite. you're destroying so there's no part of that in your job description where you're protecting and serving, you're destroying simple. You know, that, you know, I feel that, you know, even the police should maybe look at, you know, providing courses or even, you know, like trying to do more in terms of
these bloody courses. Course. Yeah.
That's in me, innit? Listen, man. That's my work talk. That's my work talk, you know.
Don't worry. When they make a course, you can be the first to go on one, man.
Oh God,
yeah,
you love that, innit? You love that, innit? I'm glad you find that out, man, innit?
Yeah,
you know when something's in you, and yeah, man, that's.
Don't ask that question. It's not talking about course. You be joking,
yeah, man. You threw me off, man.
Man, sorry.
What is? Yeah, that was you're funny.
You know what? Let me just add to you while you're thinking.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I think one of the main things that the police need to do, for me, yeah, I don't think they'll ever build back the relationship between. But I think the best thing that they can do to rebuild the relationship between themselves and black people is obviously the first thing that you said is stop the foolish behavior and attitude that they're doing, the stereotypical mindset they have towards black people. But I think the main thing they need to do is look into the history of their relationship with black people, where the brutality from the police began. Do you get what I'm saying? When the black people came over from the Windrush, where it began, why it started. Do you get me? What was the aim? Listen to how it made black people feel. So even if you talk to the older generation first, that are Windrush survivors, do you get me? Or, do you know what I'm saying to you? And you talk to them, find out how it made them feel at the time. And then as you speak, well, after you finish speaking to them and you've covered all of that, you go right down the line. You get me? So it gets younger and younger and younger. And you're taking notes and you're understanding and, you know what I mean, you reassure them. I'm not saying you necessarily have to apologize because the past was the past, but you're understanding and you're reassuring that, yes, I acknowledge how you felt. I can only imagine. You show empathy and you say, you know what, we're here to ensure that we take this information so we use it to make sure that we empower ourselves to be able to rebuild and make a relationship with you that's a lot more positive, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying to you?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and you understand. So from you understand that, I think you'd be in a much better position, and then you start turning up and supporting, not just black people, everybody's still the same way, but like you said, turning up to certain little events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe even funding a Black History Month event to show your interest or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Where a couple of your officers turn up for the day. Maybe, like you said, for the schools genius, it sounded a bit mad, but it sounded good at the same time. But maybe when you got primary schools or whatever, you know, usually you always have the fire service come with the fire truck and the kids are allowed to go in there and put the hat on.
Yeah.
Maybe you have the police van. And you're talking to the youths, if you know what I'm saying, and you're building a relationship with the youths like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But what I find with these police, when black boys are young, they're positive towards them. You see, as soon as they turn teenager, it changes.
That's mad. Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because they now view you as men. That's where they have the hatred from. And work on yourselves. Why is your rhetoric like that, bruv? Why do you not think like that? Why is your mindset like that? Period. Do you get me?
Yeah, man.
That's all I can say still, but,
just before we go on, I wanted to add as well, they need to have a monthly,
course.
They need to be educated on making sure every month they do something on racial bias, and each and every one of them study it, know what it is inside out. And, you know, I think every time they finish off duty, they need to, you know, report and say, you know, explain on how they conducted themselves today. And, you know, and I think they need to, also, they probably do, but they don't reveal it to the public. I think they also need to, you know, tally up how much people, black people, do they stop and a racial profile, and then look at the number of the alternative race, because I think then that's the only then when the reality of what is happening be taken seriously. Does that mean? I feel that is definitely something that needs to be done. They need to really, same like when I was doing the banking. We needed to regularly do money laundering. We need to understand that. Reason being, because if you messed up on that, you yourself can go to prison for about 7 years with a potential unlimited fine. So the very thing which they are known to do and they're ridiculed for and hated for is this racial bias. Oh, you look like this person. Oh, you fit the description of a black man that was wearing a black cap and drugging bottoms, and you look like this. I mean, that needs to stop. That needs to stop. Just what I mean, it needs to stop, because people, we hear it all the time and it gets a bit boring now.
100%.
You know, so yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, and just to add to that good point that you just put there as well, I think is it the CPS that looks into, you know, problematic situations with the police
the
and
Crown Prosecution Service. They're just as corrupt as well.
Yeah,
so
but
to say, man.
They need to do some kind of understanding of the history of the, you know what I mean, the police and the law with black people and that, and understand that maybe when they start doing that and a black person is unnecessarily killed, like Chris Cabba, they might start convicting people. You get me? Because all this is tick box exercise, you know. The only reason why they keep acquitting people is when you're looking for information of how many black people have died at the hands of police in police custody in the UK, it's going to say 0. That's the only reason why they do that, bruv.
Yeah.
You get me?
Makes sense.
That's not true. There's loads.
Yeah.
But they've all been cleared.
Yeah, makes sense.
So now stats-wise, it doesn't show anything.
Makes sense, yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah. People, listen. Like I said, this episode may not have been as structured as usual. We had a few questions, and we let out a few opinions. I think I spoke too much today, so I apologize.
No, man. You do your thing, man. Yeah, no. You do your thing.
But we just wanted to get this situation off of our chest with this Chris Cabba thing, because, you know, like we said, regardless of what he done or whatever, I'm not saying what he done was right. I would never say that. But at the same time, both of us agree that it was unnecessary. There was other options that weren't exercised, you know, and if people disagree with it, that's fine. You know what I mean? You can put your comments in the chat because we're open for positive criticism as well. Yeah. But be respectful with it, otherwise you will be blocked. I will say that much. Do you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that we're open for that debate. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you want to do that, or if you've really got an issue with it, like I said, with what we've said, no problem. Put your information down. Hit us on Instagram. DM us. We'll be happy to get you on the show and have this conversation again. Yeah, mate. Let's do this. Let's do this thing, man, if that's how you feel. But we're not trying to upset people. We're not trying to piss off people. We're not trying to make nobody feel inadequate because of race or whatever differences there is. Everybody should be treated the same.
100%.
Like I said, I gave the example. If this situation was a white man, I don't care what nobody says. Even if you're a person that is celebrating Chris Cabba passing away, you know deep within yourselves, and you don't have to admit it, because what a lot of you do is, because you have such a negative opinion of black people when these things happen, you celebrate it, not the racist minded people I'm talking. Yeah. You gotta celebrate it, but deep down you know what's said is true, but instead of you opening your mouth and admitting it, you just play with the lie just to upset people. So it's like you're almost in troll mode. You get me?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? But you know within yourself, this is a white man, this would never have happened. You know that.
Yes.
You get me? And I just hope that at some point, you know what? We're just going to get to a place where if these things continue, people rise up against it, man. Because I think people need to just take more power. I'm not saying go out there in violence. You know what I mean? But I'm saying we can challenge authorities a certain way without the violence and let them
100%.
know we're not standing for it no more.
100%.
As a collective. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can. So I hope one day I get to see that, man. You know what I mean?
True, man. No, we definitely will be good.
Yeah, man, for the sake of our kids, because we got kids. Nobody wants to see that this type of thing happens to our child, because it's Chris Cabba, who they say, I quote, was affiliated with gangs and carried out certain criminal activities today. But tomorrow, it could be one of our children.
Yeah, God forbid, it's true.
Yeah?
No
one is spared. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, people, listen, I'm going to say bye for your man Verbz.
Bye for myself, Official Genius Man.
I will see you next time on the next episode of the Triggered Thoughts Podcast.
Nice one, cuz.
Big up, cuz, man. Big up.
Nice one, yeah?
Yeah,
Easy.
man. Bless, cuz.
Yo, what you take this thing for? You listening to the